満開散れ千本桜影吉
Okay, so I actually got to do an interview with Karen, who's in charge of Pokemon Go Cherry League. And pretty much it was awesome. I'm probably going to have to break it up into 2 parts. But here was my interview with the leader and founder of Pokemon Go Cherry League, and I will be jumping in and out to explain some stuff. Karen. No. Hello everyone, it's Adventure Griffin, and I'm here with Karen, founder of the Cherry Go Pokemon group.
Thank you.
Honestly, today was my first time raiding in it, and I would probably say I knew that Portland was the best place to play Pokemon Go, but now it's like guaranteed. Like, how did you find this group? Like, how did you how was it created?
So I had decided shortly after raids came out that they weren't really something that I could do on my own, and so I needed other people to help out with that. And I figured since I wasn't the only one, that I would just try and meet up with others at certain raids. I knew that I could get more people if I stayed on a consistent schedule. So my very first day, it just started out that there were 3 of us. Within a month of consistently doing it at the same time, meeting in the same place, we were able to grow to almost 40 people in just a matter of weeks. We have community members who are word of mouth telling other community members about.
Hey guys, sorry to pause for 1 second. I just wanted to let you guys know that we're going to bring up some buttons. Salem is the place to buy the buttons, which again, I'm just gloating over how awesome Salem is. They've made these buttons, it seems, a lot longer than Corvallis has. I say that because Corvallis actually, like Eugene and every other city, were using a lot of money towards bots. But I don't even want to go into bots. That's, I was not for it. Anyways, these would probably be some most valuable buttons to get. Back to the interview.
About what we do, and it just grows from there. We have over 300 people in Cherry City Go now, both on our Facebook page and our chat groups, and we have a Patreon to go along with.
I'm going to say this, I'm not a big fan of Patreon usually, but I just thought, could you just please put that button?
Yeah.
You guys know who my favorite Pokemon is.
So, all of our patrons, they are $3 a month.
The link will be in the description down below, just to let you know.
So it's $3 a month, and that just helps the hosts, myself and the 4 other admins who also host events, to be able to afford to do it. We also, that lets us buy the prizes.
Buy the prizes.
Right. It also finances the buttons. All of our Patreons get a free button for every community day, as well as for all of our generic raids. So.
And if one Patreon, question, how do I get a shiny Eevee button?
Yeah, so that's the other thing too, is that we want them to be fairly exclusive, but after 3 months of them being accessible to the patrons only, we then will sell them out in the open. So the Eevee button specifically that I have here, that one will be available, let's see, that was August, so at the end of November, that one will be available, and we do that $2 a piece.
I'm not really quite sure.
That's
okay,
good. And that one will be there until supplies run out. Once they run out, I'm not printing anymore.
How do you, what's your opinion on Discord? Like, I've seen Discord, but I feel like it just isn't designed for Pokemon Go, because I feel like it's more of a World of Warcraft, Call of Duty thing, and
It's interesting that you say that because cities all over the country have done very successfully with a Discord. Portland's is based in Discord. Most cities are. It just never took off in Salem. We have 5 or 6 that people have tried to make, but due to the fact that we have an overly heavy casual set of players, most of these players are not going to download that extra app for that extra chat group that then they have to log into. And
right, it's like the casual player, like some people say there's the casual player and the hardcore player. Well, what about the player that wants to get good Pokemon, but they don't want to do it every day and go to this event and go to this event?
Right. So the Discord never really became a thing in Salem, and so we have chat groups that we use through Facebook. And so if you want to find a Giratina raid, for example, because that's the legendary that's out, and be that hardcore player, you get yourself added to these Facebook groups, and you hit all of the ones that get reported that way. We like that a little bit better. It fits more to our style as the community is. Discord just doesn't work the way we want it to.
And what is your opinion on spoofing?
So that one's a really complicated one for me. If you're spoofing to go and catch Pokemon, they don't care, but don't tell anybody about it. A lot of the chat groups, a lot of the pages that we have for Salem, they don't allow spoofers. So if you're going to do it, don't tell anybody. Personally,
Hey guys, I want to give out my legit opinion on spoofing and what I think of it. There's a girl here that's probably spoofing me. I know that from anonymous sources. After Zooey's gone, you think I'm really against spoofing, and I am. But the thing is, they're using illegal third-party apps, and we're using third-party apps. Either way, it's disguised to help, but Niantic has not said okay to this yet. So I cannot say, hey, you're cheating, because we're cheating. We are doing exactly what a spoofer is doing. They may have easier access, and that's my biggest beef. I mean, but then some other stuff came into my mind that Karen brought up.
I will say the one thing that gets me about spoofers, where I think it's legitimately a problem, is if you're spoofing into raids. Because that's the part that's not okay to me. Because if you're spoofing into a raid for an EX pass, you're stopping a local player from getting that EX pass. You're stopping a local player who physically went there from getting that shiny Absol or something. So you spoof for raids, you have a black mark in my book.
My problem with it is, one, if you spoof, then what you're doing, are you really getting up? Like, if you're spoofing and you've got like some type of cancer in a wheelchair, as long as you're talking to people and the game is getting you social. If it's not getting you social, then why are you playing it? Like, I know a bunch of other games like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon White and Black. Why are you playing this one? Do you like pictures of these places in it?
I don't know, and everybody's going to have a slightly different opinion, but I don't really see the harm in if you're spoofing to catch Pokemon. You're really just cheating yourself, frankly. Like when you're spoofing into raids, you're cheating other players, and that's kind of that line for me.
A lot of people want to do it to catch the region exclusives, but my camera guy is probably going to go to Canada and catch a couple of region exclusives. So I kind of feel like that's kind of working together, and they say the game is about working together. So
that's a way of doing it. I've got a girlfriend of mine, she lives in Germany, and sometimes she'll play my account, sometimes I'll play her account, and that gets me the regional exclusives and vice versa. And we're good friends.
That brings me to the next topic, how do you feel about Niantic in the service, or like this, like in a general, like, would you say you are so hardcore to Niantic, which I don't think that Niantic, like, you were there since Ingress, and you know everything, versus I like what they say.
My only problem is that Niantic has now made it such that they can data mine in our phones. They can see the other things that we have, and that really bothers me.
Well, I kind of have mixed feelings because that's kind of what added adventures, but
Right, but let's suppose that they can now data sync our accounts. Well, they can find out that I have an Uber Eats app. They can find out that I also play this other mobile game that, oh, I need to hit my dailies on that. Okay, I gotta do that real quick. So, you know, they can see what else we're doing. And
what if they gave you a 10K egg
Um,
free for doing stuff like that?
The 10Ks are really underwhelming to me. All of the eggs are really underwhelming to me.
What if they like gave you a random shiny from Gen 1 or like non-legendary or something like that?
My shiny rates are really low. I have terrible luck with that. But I still think that's paying us off to go
play.
and do other things. And I'm not sure if I necessarily, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it should, like, one, I think you're not allowed, and I had someone read the terms of service to me. You're not allowed to have a contest without Niantic approval. I'm like, you're not allowed to run 2 phones. You're not allowed to play for anyone. I'm like, what are you allowed to do at one point? And when I heard about Brandon being banned, I was just like, okay, ban a spoofer now. I'm gonna be really angry and make a rage video, and they did. They banned the spoofer Efazui, who was, well, to be respectful, he was a redneck. Nobody who was pretty much.
Oh, that's not nice.
I am sorry, but he hated on people just for trying to explain the facts of Pokemon Go. And I'm like Jonah, I really don't hate him because it's like he's done nothing wrong. All I know is you like him. But this person that actually attacks people and kind of...
I don't really pay attention to the celebrities of the community. That doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't really... It's not a good use of my time, personally. I've got other things I'd rather do than watch somebody else go and catch the thing that I want.
Okay, then, like, someone who wore Pikachu ears, because she was endorsed, couldn't wear them because they were not made by Nintendo. And I don't even know how they found that out, like...
I don't know.
So,
But then again, my shirt wasn't made by Nintendo either, but I still love it. It's Targaryen reference from Game of Thrones. I love it so much.
I am actually a big fan of the princess, well, the dragon queen.
Daenerys.
Yes. I didn't even know she was in Solo until my mom pointed it out. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
that was...
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's done a lot of movies, actually.
How do you think Pokemon Go should ever have a chat?
That's a good question. I'm not sure how it would work, and I think with all of the other accessories, it would really slow down the game. So if they found a technical way to keep the speed high and the data low, like the amount of data it takes up on the phone, sure, I can see that being useful, but
What the timing was.
What
I
about,
don't wanna
what about
sacrifice
friends that
processing
you
power.
could mute, like tag friends, like this Pokemon's here, they're the 100 here, stuff like that.
let's start by seeing friends in the game before we go into chatting with friends.
Right, because I just feel like they're moving towards a more Facebook angle, because like we have a game and like we have 2 choices in my mind. It's like you have to make a way for people to meet, or you have to start working with companies that will find a way to make it. And
Which is like using the Discord or Telegram. That's another one that's really popular in Salem is Telegram. So anyone who doesn't have Facebook tends to use that.
Telegram, that's a new one, and that's kind of why No, I like driving and meeting places. I like business, so what is your favorite Pokemon?
Mawile. Hands down, Mawile is my absolute favorite.
What are your plans for the future? Do you plan to add anything else to?
Yeah, so we have a lot of things that are kind of in the works right now.
Yeah, can I just say, I actually looked at the page and I'm like, okay, that's...
I walked in.
Okay. Okay! Like, do you just like... Is this you at night?
Not quite, because that's implying that you know, I'm
I've
sipping on
seen-
something.
I mean like coffee.
Okay.
No, not.
So one of our other admins is actually doing a scavenger hunt next month, and if you win the scavenger hunt, you get a shiny Beldum. So it's super fun.
Me and my friend have a bet going. If he says what Mikey says in the office, he owes me a Beldum. Like,
If one of our other mods is working on a tournament style where it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's sort of like in League of Legends, how you can pick a champion to play as. And so everybody will pick one Pokemon. It is unique, no doubles. One Pokemon, and that's what you get to use to go and raid with. And the speed at which you can finish off a certain like 1-star raid or something, the fastest person moves on to the next round, where everybody picks new Pokemon, and then you do it again and again and so on.
What
until
about
there's one
if
winner.
two people want to pick Tyranitar as Scyther?
Nope.
How do you know what I'm saying is how do you separate the tiebreaker? Like,
Yeah.
if two people say, I want Tyranitar, I want the fastest counter.
Do you know what a D20 is? It's a 20-sided die, and I love those things. Basically,
Odds or evens?
have both people roll a die, and whoever is the winner gets priority. That's the only way to do it fair.
That seems very fair. And it's how do you feel about PvP coming sometime this year? They said.
I'm honestly not looking forward to it for the same reason wasn't looking forward to trading, is that you're going to have a small subsection of the most elite and serious players more or less picking on the little players. It's the same reason why so many people don't play League of Legends or World of Warcraft or
I have all of these
Destiny.
and you don't.
Right, exactly. And then you have all these high-level players who are souped up with
Well,
their
I feel
items,
like if they
picking on
add
the
chat,
little
that
ones.
would definitely do it. Like, it would ruin it because people would just be bragging and you'd have to spam them again and again, like spam. Like,
So my whole thing is about trying to create the best environment for the casual players and the medium players.
and
The elite players are
well, I
going to
like
figure
that you
out
had like
how to stay
3
elite.
medium, aggressive, like there were different levels instead of just aggressive, non-aggressive. That bugs me a lot. That like, no, I can't be a casual player.
Yeah, and I mean,
So-
it's fine. if you
Sorry,
wanna be-
Mom, but it's Community Beldum Day, my favorite Pokemon. I know you have cancer in the hospital, but you know.
And it's fine if somebody wants to be, one of those aggressive, competitive players. No problem. But, there's a lot of casual players who also need this infrastructure in order to enjoy
How
it.
do you keep the peace though with teenagers? Like we have minors that are growing up, we have teenagers that will probably misbehave. How did the group leader kind of keep stuff PG-13, but also like let them talk? Like,
So the nice part is that our chats are all PG-13, and when something happens that is outside of that, one of the moderators says, "Hey, we need to pull it back," just as a reminder.
like if someone gets mad that they didn't get a lucky trade after they made a trade.
For sure. Most people don't get really worked up about it, and I think we have a really good community because we're mostly casuals. We don't get super mad about those kinds of things. The other thing, too, is the individuals who have gotten super mad about the decisions that the moderators have made tend to just no longer associate with the group.
You mind if I call them pack leaders? Because moderator, I just hate those names.
Okay, one more thing. I couldn't put this in. Mainly some person got a blacklist because it sounded like they were giving information and attacking people, and I believe everyone has a chance to be redeemed. However, I don't know this person. I just don't think it's right to permanently ban someone forever. But I don't know if he was like yelling all the time, how outrageous he was. The only reason I bring this up is because Salem has only had to blacklist one person. One. And keep in mind, Salem has a bigger population than Corvallis. I don't know, maybe, I don't know why we have a little bit more. I'm just gonna say, we have issues. Yeah, call out, we have issues. Back to the interview.
Right.
How did you come up with the name Cherry Squad?
So it's Cherry City Go, and that's a good question. So we tried a couple of different things. What I eventually ended up doing was I just opened it up to the community, the 200 plus people that we had, and I said, we're going to take submissions for a name. And there were a couple of different options. A lot of them seemed really narrow into just our Sunday raid parties. And there were a couple that were a lot more broad, you know. So there was Salem Pogo and a bunch of just really random things. And none of them really had the flavor of local. And, well, Salem is also known as the Cherry City, the same way that Seattle is the Emerald City, Portland is Rose City. So we had decided we wanted something that
Corvallis is
reflected
the
that.
Crab City or the Coin City.
So we did that, not to mention cherries are a very easy logo to do. So our logo is a set of cherries that have two little footballs.
Oh, could you give me that for the thumbnail of this video?
Yeah, I can get you the image.
Okay.
So it's kind of like on here. We just have it inside of a phone instead of with the bird in the background. So yeah.
And so you just decided, since it's a Cherry City, that will make it local. How do you feel about people that are coming from other cities? Because
I really relish in that because I want people to come here and see what we've built. So, you know, take the good things and take them back home, or even better yet, tell us about the good things that you have back at your home community that we can pull in and make ours even stronger.
well, I know someone like who goes by the screen name Hollywood. He loves to play the game. He has 5 accounts that he runs, and it's like I just think the main thing is like with Discord, he really gets drunk and starts saying mean things. So it's like, yeah, that's the problem. Is what are there any like requirements to be part of Cherry City, or do you know it?
Not really. I mean, the Facebook page we try to keep limited to local players, so Salem, Kaiser,
So if
State.
you're from Africa, please, only if you're visiting it, yeah.
We've denied people who've tried to get added in from Kentucky or something because that's not where we're based. That's not what we're about.
What if they're saying I'm taking a trip? What do you say? We can have you as a guest, but we're not going to add you.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if someone
Yeah.
pops in for a trip, whatever, we'll gladly let them in on it. Other than that, I mean, don't be a dick. That's kind of the general rule. Like,
I've read that in like 3 rules. Don't be a dick. Like,
Yeah.
use common sense.
right?
Like-
I will say one of the things that gets me is when we have people who repeat the same question 40 different times. That is something where
It does
I
happen.
want you to not be there
As
anymore.
you know, that does happen with me a little bit. Like,
Yeah, like, man, one of the things that just gets me on, like the Portland board, for example, that I watch. I kind of lurk because I go to Portland like once a month. You will have someone post up like new event has happened in the game, and then the next 15 posts will be the.
what is
another
Adventure
event,
Sync?
another
How do I
event,
use
another event.
Adventure Sync? What is Adventure Sync? And it's like,
Scroll down. The answer is there if you just give it 45 more seconds.
Right. It seems like with the Facebook page, it's more like, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, I've used it for some games, and it's like, I just feel like it's more of like a home chatting party YouTube tool, like for YouTube. But like when you're walking around with it, I feel like that's the YouTube Live thing, because I mean, I don't know. There is big, like Portland is #1 in the login.
Yeah.
And I feel like they embrace that just a little too much.
You know, Salem's not far behind, all things considered.
Well, maybe I could get a few people from Corvallis to come here.
Please do. We're always happy to have more people, especially on our events. So these monthly raid days are a big thing for us. When we did Moltres, we had 140 people. Today was closer to like 60, 70, but obviously Gengar's not going to attract as much attention as Moltres is. So, yeah. Did you have any other questions for me? Because I got about 10 minutes to hit my daily.
It was nice interviewing you, and I hope to see you in the future.
Well, we do it every single week. We're here.
Pokemon Cherry City League Go.
Cherry City Go.
Pokemon Cherry City Go, not League. Pokemon Cherry City Go.
So you can go on Facebook. It's just facebook.com/Cherry
The link will be down below.
We've also got Patreon, which is the same thing.
I will give you.
Patreon.com/.
I will put the link down below.
Yeah. So that's what we got.
And I'm gonna see if I can get one of those Eevee buttons.
Okay, can I just say one more time? I enjoyed Salem. Like, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the time I spent up there. I enjoyed just hanging out with people and actually interacting. Because in Corvallis, that's not really the thing. It's not alive like Salem is. And Salem just seems to be on their game. Honestly, I don't care where you're from. Sorry, Eugene, you are always going to be my favorite city. But if you're in Oregon, Salem is the place to play Pokemon Go. I have said this to everyone. And I mean this. Like, when you go somewhere, like if you want to go somewhere and, how do I put it? If you want to go to a place for an opera, you go to, I'm not going to repeat trainer tips. Anyways, you should just definitely check out Cherry League. Link will be in the description below with their Patreon page. You will probably see me wearing a button of theirs in the future. Trust me, that is not the last time you will be seeing her on my YouTube channel. I had such an awesome time. There's so many nice people up there. So until next time, guys, always have a good relationship with your doctors, your psychiatrists. Remember, they're important people, and if they're not working out, find someone who helps you better. Let people know about it. Know someone before judging them. Really, like, know this person. What is their deal? How do they act? And last but not least, if you think it's impossible to make an awesome place in Oregon to play Pokemon Go, never let anyone tell you anything's impossible. Sayonara.